Welcome back. So, Bunnylovr is an independent, raw character study that pulls you uncomfortably close to its protagonist, Rebecca, a young woman struggling to find direction in her life. From its very first moment, the film makes it clear that this won't be a distant or neatly packaged story. It's invasive, personal, and often deliberately disorientating. Rebecca is stuck in a familiar kind of early adulthood limbo. She works as a dull, unfulfilling job during the day and spends her night working as Camgirl, neither of which brings her any real sense of purpose or satisfaction. She openly admits that she doesn't really do anything and that lack of direction defines her entire existence. She drifts from one interaction to another, unsure of who she is or what she wants. What stands out most about her character is her deep rooted need to please others. Whether it's dealing with clients online, interacting with her boss, or navigating personal relationship, Rebecca constantly molds herself to fit expectation. This makes her come across as withdrawn and uncertain, someone who struggles to assert her own identity. Even her friendship and romantic connection feel shallow or incomplete, reinforcing her sense of isolation. The film explores the divide between Rebecca's online persona and her real life self. On camera, she performs a version of herself tailored to what others want, but off camera, she is awkward, quiet, and disconnected. This contrast highlights the emotional toll of living partially through a digital identity where validation comes at the cost of authenticity. It also shows how difficult it becomes to maintain genuine relationship when so much of your life is built around performance. A turning point in the story comes when one of her regular clients sends her a pet rabbit, which she eventually names Milk. At first, she is reluctant to take responsibility for it, but over the time, the animals become a small source of comfort in her otherwise lonely life. At the same time, it also introduced a more unsettling dynamic. The client who sent the rabbit begins making increasingly strange and controlling requests, turning what seemed like a kind gesture into something more disturbing. These moments hint at deeper themes about control, boundaries, and vulnerability. Rebecca's situation reflects how easily emotional and financial dependence can blur lines, especially in relationships that begin in transactional spaces. The rabbit itself becomes a clear metaphor for her own condition, soft, vulnerable, and mercy of others. Despite these compelling ideas, the film often feels like it's skimming the surface rather than fully exploring them. The storytelling is loose and somewhat unfocused, moving from one moment to another without a strong sense of progression. Instead of building towards a clear emotional or narrative payoff, it drifts much like Rebecca herself. Visually, the film leans heavily into close handheld camera work that keeps the audience physically and emotionally close to Rebecca. While this approach reinforces her sense of confinement and discomfort, it can also feel overwhelming and repetitive, sometimes distracting from the story rather than enhancing it. Still, what holds everything together is the central performance. Rebecca is portrayed with quite vulnerability that makes her easy to empathize with, even when her actions are frustrating or misguided. You can sense the anxiety, confusion, and loneliness driving her decision, which makes the film an emotional pull despite its structural issues. In the end, Bunnylovr is less about telling a complete story and more about capturing a feeling, the uncertainty of being young, disconnected, and unsure of your place in the world. It presents a portrait of a person caught between identities, searching for meaning but not quite knowing how to find it. It's moody and introspective, filled with strong ideas and an honest central performance, but its lack of narrative focus keeps it from reaching the depth it often hints at. Instead of diving deep into its theme, it lingers on the surface, offering glimpses of something more powerful without ever fully committing to. Thank you for watching. Bye.